Not you outside again. I thought y'all were back together. Yeah, I'm outside.
Rivah TV.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So I actually was sent this video last night, okay, almost in the wee hours of the morning, of basically Mowry posting what I would consider to be a come get me post. Okay, and so whenever I press play, you guys are going to then begin to understand what I mean by the come get me post. Now, if you guys are unaware of the entire backstory of this situation, let me quickly bring you up to speed. Okay, so Mowry, actress Mowry was married to Cory Hardrict for a very long time. The two of them decided to get a divorce because Tia basically woke up one day and decided that she had graduated from her marriage and that it was something that no longer served her.
Marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Cory some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation.
Now, after that situation, there was a lot of people who, felt emotionally connected to their marriage, right? Fans, people who supported them. And so there was a lot of commentary of people telling Tia that she needs to go back to her marriage, that she needs to fix things, the kids are young. And Tia, in turn, then made another post on social media, now targeting the people who wanted her to go back to her marriage, and basically said, it ain't for her, she not weak, and she not going back to something that no longer served her, okay? And so then after that, it has been, Tia doing a lot of dancing, a lot of, in my opinion, thirst trapping, a lot of trying to get herself out there, all the way until she gets a TV show. And on that said TV show that is supposed to be, exposing her life after divorce and all the above, she ends up basically, proving what everybody knew to be true, that she had regretted the decision to get a divorce and that she actually wanted to go back and fix her relationship.
I hate when this stuff happens because it makes me feel like I've made a mistake.
A mistake of what?
Of getting a divorce.
Girl.
I don't want to be alone, So when I'm going through these challenges, sometimes you want to go back.
So after all of that kind of died down, Tia ended up going on social media and constantly posting the two of them together, with their children as one big happy family unit. And so it gave people the impression that the two of them had actually gotten back together.
Child, they said she done went home. They said she done went to the house. No, he took her bag. I asked him, and I was like, Cory, you took her bag? He just read the message. Normally, he respond to me, but he knows she don't like me. So he ain't responding now.
Now, I believe that Tia, in my personal opinion, definitely aided in those rumors by her constant posts, making them the thumbnail and all those kind of things, knowing that those rumors were circulating and for months never cleared it up. But now she decided that she wants to dissipate those rumors, okay? And so in this newly posted Come Get Me post, Tia is basically trying to reiterate to everybody outside and in the streets that she does absolutely belong to the streets and is completely open and available. Cory is not in the way. If you want me, come get me. So I'm going to go ahead and press play, pause, play, give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on this entire conversation.
Goes down in the DM.
It goes down in the DM.
Would you marry me if you knew me well? What the hell? What the helianti? Are you interested in younger men like myself? How young we talking? Do you know how old I am? I'm very flattered. Not you outside again. I thought y'all were back together. Let's normalize co-parenting in a healthy way.
Do you guys understand why so far I'm calling this a come get me post? Okay. The first DM is somebody asking, if she would, marry them. The second DM is, a younger man, fawning over her and wanting her so bad. And then the meat of the matter, the actual reason why she posted the video to begin with is The question of, oh, you're back outside. I thought you guys were, together still. Like, all of these DMs are showing self-flattery, that she's so wanted, that the streets want her so bad, that there's men out there who want to marry her, that there's younger men who are, fawning over her. And, she's just so flattered by all these people who are, just want to be with her so bad. And then again, like I said, the meat of the matter, the reality of why she posted the video to begin with, she then talks about, oh, well, I'm not together, and, we're co-parenting in a healthy way.
Things don't always have to be toxic. But yeah, I'm outside. No.
I agree. Okay, I agree that things don't have to always be toxic. I genuinely agree with that. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression by what I'm saying about this conversation, right? Because that's what we need more of. We need more situations that there are healthy co-parents. We need more situations where kids can understand that, yeah, maybe this situation didn't work out, but people don't have to be enemies. Like, we absolutely need that. But in my personal opinion, okay, the problem that I see on a consistent basis is women don't start off with that peaceful narrative. They don't. Okay, as much as Tia has posted Cory on a consistent basis on holidays and stuff like that, let's be clear. When you are walking around talking about you the happiest that you've ever been, when you're walking around talking about that all of a sudden you have this new sense of freedom that you've never had in all these years because you were no longer married to this person.
I do have a feeling and a sense of freedom following my divorce.
When you are walking around talking about, the type of man that you're interested in, and it's completely contrary to the man that you were married to and who your husband is.
I see biceps, I see beards. Okay, let's say this. I do like tattoos.
When you are walking around allowing people like, Jack A. Harry to go onto your TV show and talk about that he was jealous of your success and you being the breadwinner in a relationship.
From the other side, if I might say, somebody else was dissatisfied because they weren't working.
No, I know, you're absolutely
right.
One
partner makes more money or has more success. There's a gap that is so hard and it can't work out.
Yes.
And it can't have competition. It just does not work.
How healthy are you talking about, Tia? That's not healthy. You see, when somebody, if it was a space that she was protecting him in a way where she constantly was, having his back or supporting him, where she wasn't purposely liking posts on social media that were alleging, certain things or basically trying to say that he was like a worthless kind of guy. Like, if that was the case, that's one thing. But while this man went on interviews and protected her and covered her and literally talked about the fact that he was so broken up, crying about the fact that he lost his family.
When it feels like you're going through something alone and no one understands and, no one's there for you. And it's just like, when you're a man, especially a black man, they're like, oh, he's tough, he's strong. But it was a year and a half crying myself to sleep every night. Nobody see that. Nobody see that. Yeah. You live 5 minutes away from your babies, you know what I'm saying? Because people who know Cory Hardrict know that his kids and his family was everything to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Yes. I'm really stronger. And that by the grace of God, it's like, I'm here and I'm still going.
At the same time that he was doing interviews like that, Tia was parading around doing all the new dances and being the happiest person in the world. Like, woo, I'm free.
I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm in my hoe phase right now. Happiness over everything. Where's your mind?
So now trying to, put this narrative out there that, it's just happy, wholesome, co-parenting situation. And, we've always been so amazing and everything has always been great. But to the forefront, what you have showed is the lack of respect for that man. And in my opinion, I feel like it's just he's used as a prop on her social media. Okay, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But that's just the perception that it gives off.
I'm in my bedroom. I'm inside. I just think you're absolutely amazing. You display so much grace, and beautiful doesn't even begin to describe you. I know DMs aren't the way, laugh out loud, but I just had to say it. I think that's cute. That's like a nice way to slide into a DM. This was fun. Let me know in the comments if you want me to continue to do this.
Again, I'm so wanted. Don't get it twisted. Not because I'm still single, even though I had a TV show, even though they put me on dates, and even all, all these things. Don't get it twisted. I'm wanted. I'm very wanted. So much so that my DMs are full of talking, men talking about how I'm so beautiful and full of grace. Men talking about how they want to marry me. Men talking about how, these young men trying to get over here with auntie. Like, don't get it twisted. That's what I'm seeing being pushed. And to elaborate on what I said, that I feel like sometimes he's a prop on her social media, is because, when Cory is around Tia, I don't see anything of Cory posting like family stuff, posting intimate family moments. Like, he's not doing it for the gram.
People want to ask about your personal situation.
I mean, as they should, because they want to know. I've never been that way. Even being in a situation married, I still never. I always protected my kids, and I protected her as well.
If Cory come by the house to pick up the daughter, and Tia can snap a pic, Tia is going to post it instantly on social media to show everybody that she is this peacemaker and that they have no problems. And while everybody is dragging her on the internet for Cory, whether he wants to do it or not, she is trying to say, see, look at him. He's happy. We're cool. We don't have any problem. We don't have an issue. So why do y'all have an issue? Because he don't have a problem with me. See, we're best friends.
Thank you so much.
I feel like it is a defense tool against the naysayers who feel broken up about the way that Tia went about things. Okay? Not just that she did it. The way in which she started to display herself in ways that a lot of people had never seen her, right? People looked at Tia as, based off of her, her roles and just how we've known her in the industry, as a wholesome girl, a classy woman, somebody that is definitely wife material. And so to see that relationship, break apart was like, oh, that's kind of sad, whatever the case is. But then to see this whole new and improved Tia, you outside in a bathing suit, you turning around, you dancing, you this, you thirst trapping, like everybody was like, girl, what are you doing?
Why are you so awake?
I can drink someone under the table.
I've noticed. Here I am. Yeah.
What are you doing? And the truth is that if people didn't like Tia or weren't a fan of Tia, they wouldn't really care about how she was portraying herself. But people genuinely had a love for her, and they're looking at her like, girl, this ain't it, sis. Stay in your home. Fix what you got going on. I know the streets may seem enticing, but they're not. Let's not forget that even though she said that she graduated from her marriage and all of these things, Tia definitely was on her show talking about that he was the only man she ever been with, the only man she ever dated. And so she had a lack of experience, hence why she wanted to go back out there.
I wasn't even allowed to date until I was 18 years old. I met Cory when I turned 20, and I lost my virginity at 25. There, was that it? And then we got married, boom. Well,
I have no judgment. Okay, if that's what you want to do, it's your life, it's your choice. You have to live for you. You have to be happy for you. But if you are in a public situation where you were on, Black Love interviews and talking about how to maintain your relationship.
There are times when I'm like, wow, like last year was pretty tough. But this year, it's good that we stuck, to it, or we continued to be there for one another, or had patience with one another and worked out whatever issues or difficulties that we were having.
You have to understand that people are going to have some kind of emotional, feelings or opinions about your situation. Because you put it out there on display, offering advice, offering how to help, maintain relationships for the long haul, and then you didn't do that. So people are, again, going to have some kind of emotional attachment. And people who are out there in the dating world who see that you have the husband, the family, the structure, and then now you're on your TV show talking about you wish that you had a man, in the house with you because you alone and you want somebody to hold.
Nothing wrong with that. You're lonely.
You're alone. I just feel like I have this beautiful house. I have a beautiful career. I have amazing kids. But the one thing that I don't have is love. And that's the one thing that I want more than anything.
It's like people are like, girl, you had that. Like, what's not clicking? That's what you already had going on. You came out here, to take a peek and take a stroll. Okay, cool, calm, collected. Go on home. If he'll have you. But that's not what happened. Okay? And so, like I said before, this is a very much, come get me. Come get me. I'm available. I'm still in the streets. I'm still outside. If you could find your way to me, there might be a potential DM that I just might answer. Two quick things that I also wanted to touch on that I think is so vitally important is that one thing that I think that women do that's not fair is that they ruin relationships, they ruin the whole situation, and then they still want a certain level of access to that person that's not fair for that other person. Because if Cory was crying and broken up about the fact that the relationship was over and he really, wanted his family, his wife, because that meant everything to him.
People who know Cory Hardrict know that his kids and his family was everything to him.
And then you decide that you want to be buddy, best friend, so cool with this person who still wanted to be in a marriage with you. I think that's unfair. Allow that person the space to breathe and breeze. Let him have a space to date, figure out what he want to do. Let him pick up the pieces by himself. But a lot of women still want the emotional access to you. They still want the benefits of you, even though they no longer want to be in a relationship with you. And if women don't like it when men do it, I don't think that women should be doing it back to men. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's super unfair and it's super selfish. In my personal opinion, I think it's a very selfish way of being.
Wait, I know you as being selfish all the time, so that's not how I know you as being selfish. That's your assumption. That's not my intention. Tia, that's not my assumption. That's your actions.
Also, it's not new that Tia is accused of being selfish. It's something that her own twin, identical, I think, twin sister, I don't know if they're identical or fraternal, but her twin sister literally called her selfish the same way, But then also the other point that I wanted to make was that, I also don't know, this is a form of damage control. I don't know if Cory is maybe out there and seeing somebody, and so she want to still prove that she got it like that, so just in case we see him pop out with somebody new, we know that she still got all these options and she's not bitter or she's not mad or she's not sad or whatever the case is. That's just what it seems like, because again, from what I've seen, it seems that she does a lot for the gram and for the opinions of other people and for what the perception of other people. Based off of what I see on social media, it does not seem that Cory moves in that way. It does not seem so, okay? Now, I don't know them personally. Again, I have to say this in every disclaimer. I have no personal disdain towards Tia Mowry because I do not know her personally. But I comment on the things that she displays because there are so many women who are in marriages that are going through tough times and will mistake a tough time in a rough patch for a rough marriage. And so what they then decide to do is leave their marriages because women like Tia come on this display. And I'm not saying, she's documented her own life. Okay, this is her journey, her life, her experiences. But she herself has said how many other women have got the courage to leave their marriages because she did.
I'm all about inspiring and encouraging. And I mean, the DMs that I have gotten from so many women that are going through the same thing and just saying how they admire my courage and my strength.
And again, sometimes when you are mistaking these rough patches for rough marriages, you step away from something that could be so good, and then you're outside spending all this time still searching for what you already had. That just needed more watering. That just needed you to work on it. That just needed better communication skills. That just needed time and space away from the regular stresses of life for you to, dig and unpack the things that are really going on with you guys. Sometimes you guys just needed to be on the same frequency, the same page. Because you're going one way, this person's going the other way, you're working, this person's working. And sometimes you just need to come back together and ground together. Sometimes that's what it takes. And sometimes, if you've been out of whack for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, have had horrible communication skills for a year, 2 years, 3 years, is going to take some working on. But it's the two of you knowing that you're actively working on something. You're trying. You're both committed to the process of getting better. You're accountable for your actions. And again, sometimes it just takes that extra watering. The watering that you need to do on yourself. A lot of women believe that you can only do that outside of a marriage, and that's not true. You can do it in the marriage.
Yes, they say that self-love and spending time with yourself and all of that is important, but what is wrong with me saying I want a partner?
You can water yourself, take inventory of the things that are taking a toll on you, take a step back, and still be committed to your husband. It's doable. Maybe hard sometimes. It may be rough sometimes. But ultimately being committed to the union between the two of you, you know that it's worth it. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I know Tia probably think I can't stand her or whatever, but it's really not personal. But it's necessary to have these conversations because there's other women out there who are watching and need different perspectives. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation. Do you agree? Do you not agree? We'll talk about it in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.